Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. It is Sunday, October 26, 2025, and I'm so happy you are here. I've got Mom joining via video chat to film with me and see what I am doing this week, and I'm so glad you guys are here to see what we're doing as well. Hi, Mom, how are you?
Hey, Julie, I'm good. I cannot wait to see what you've come up with for this great suite.
I have to say, I'm keeping it kind of clean and simple. Today, I'm using some templates, a downloadable class handout from Stampin' Up, as my inspiration for today. As we were just talking about, I haven't really used this suite very much. The Elegant Pine Snowflakes Suite came out in the September online exclusives, and you can check out this flyer if you want to download it in my video description. And you can check out all these products on the online store under the online exclusives category. They were released at the same time as the mini catalog, so they feel like mini catalog things. The only difference is they're not actually pictured in the catalog, but I like to print out some of the pictures from the online store, and so I'm just going to pretend like I have a catalog here.
What a great idea.
Yeah, the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Suite, I got the designer paper and a lot of the stuff. I got the stamp set and I haven't played with it, and so I was saying I love the challenge that we focus on different products each week in our Sunday stamping videos, because it challenges me to use some of the things that I have that are just sitting there. And that has really been a goal of mine this fall, is to use what I have and to create things. So if you don't have the Elegant Pines Snowflake Suite, I hope that you're inspired by the projects that we shared today, both in my video and in Mom's. And maybe you have something similar. Maybe you have other snowflakes, other designer paper, or just other images, could be totally unrelated, that you'll be inspired to create the same kind of projects that we're doing. So let me show you the products that are in this suite first, and then we're going to get started. The Delicate Pines stamp set and die bundle has some images of snowflakes that are made up of pine needles and pine branches. And I think this is such an interesting idea, and I guess a kind of a trendy design theme for Christmas and winter. So the Delicate Pines is a photopolymer stamp set. It has some different images there of the snowflake kind of shapes, as well as some sentiments. Celebrate the season. It's the most magical time of the year and warmest winter wishes. I borrowed the dies from my friend Chris Anderson. Chris, thank you. I'm all about the sharing and, helping each other out. So I borrowed these for the weekend, going to give them back to her. But these dies, there's a lot of them in here. There, I got Chris's name so I don't forget. What am I looking for? Oh, 22 dies that are really dynamic. So we have dies that cut out the images, and then we also have some builder dies. Like this one, it has a little circle in the middle because it's meant to be like two halves. Like if you die cut some out, then you can attach them all in the center to create like a larger die cut snowflake. And I think you can kind of see that in this project image here, where they just combined all those die cut images to create a snowflake. I don't usually get into the detailed fussy die work like that. But there are those options, layered pine cones here. Now this one is kind of interesting because it die cuts like the branches, the needles of some of these things, but each one individually. So like this one die cuts the entire image, and these would die cut like each individual pine piece.
That's a lot of fussy work.
I know, right? I also want to point out that the dies are meant to kind of be builder and like build on each other. And you're going to see a little bit of that. I'm going to combine some of those images, but you can also add some of these smaller images like this one to the outside of the snowflake. Oh, look, they missed one. Like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there should be one more there. That's so funny. Now, I want to point out, too, that the dies coordinate with the designer paper, which is I love that. And so there's actually a lot of these patterns that coordinate with the dies. Like on this one, the big die and the little die and the little branch. Not so much this one. Maybe this one though would die cut with the big one and the small one. And then this one, I don't think that one as much, but like this one, all of those like individual images. This one, all of those individual images. This one, oh, actually, I don't know about this one. But look at that, like 4 of the sheets have the ability to die cut the designer paper. And what I wanted to point out with the builder thing is that when you line this die up, like you do get some of the snowflake that's going to get cut off because it was kind of like the add-on. And so then you can die cut those images with the dies, or you can stamp them on your paper. And go in addition to the die cut piece.
You are good. You've gone through to figure that out. I did not. I just said, yeah, some of the dies.
Well,
some of the paper can get cut out by the dies.
Because I was borrowing the dies from Chris, like that was the first thing I did, was just to die cut a bunch of things from the designer paper, because I gotta give the dies back. So I gotta do what I can. I'm also running out of this paper. I used some of it for product shares and I had just like a little bit left. So like I die cut almost everything. Look at that. I'm kind of proud actually. Like there's not much of this paper left. So I'm just going to try to use it all up. How often do you use your whole package of paper?
Rarely.
I know.
Rarely.
Okay, so in addition to the paper, in addition to the stamps and the dies, we have these gorgeous ribbon. This is a shaded spruce with gold trim, 7/8 inch ribbon. It is really silky and kind of big. I actually didn't use these on any of my projects. I think it makes a really pretty bow. It's a little bit bulky, but gosh, it would be so pretty on packaging. Oh my gosh. And then we have these faceted snowflakes. I think they kind of look like stars and a little bit like 4th of July. We've got cherry cobbler, pretty peacock, and the silver color for the snowflakes. And these are just gorgeous. Of course, we do have some of that pretty peacock color here in the designer paper. The paper includes all kinds of shades of green, like garden green and old olive, shaded spruce, but we get some of that pretty peacock in there too, as well as some secret sea, and of course the cherry cobbler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love those faceted gems. I really do.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I think like the silver ones, I'm totally going to run out of, because I feel like those are just so perfectly sparkly to go on anything. Okay, I had samples. What did I do with them? Right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What did I do with them? They're right in front of me. Here are some card samples. This one from Kay Cogbill, and she used the detail die cut in gold foil to just create a little accent with the sign design stamp. And then I made this one up really quick with some of those die cut pieces that I created. I'm not sure if I like this card. I don't know if it's I think it's the basic beige that I don't like. So I might tear the whole thing off and put it on a different card base, like shaded spruce.
Or cherry cobbler.
Well, I got the cherry cobbler there. Some real-time card changing here. Hold on a second. I think that a darker what do you think of that?
Yeah.
Or do you like it on the lighter color?
No, I think you're right. I think it needs a darker. What was your objection to cherry cobbler?
I already have the cherry cobbler.
Oh, I like that.
There we go. Okay, I'll glue that down later. All right, next card from Sandy Jacobson. Kind of a really clean and simple layout here with the strip of designer paper and the snowflake die cut from the designer paper. And the last one, this uses the branching out and sign design stamp sets, but I use the designer paper, Elegant Snowflake and Elegant Pine Snowflakes. So I wanted to show that one more time too. All right. Today my cards are clean and simple because I was so overwhelmed by all the images and the dies and the stamps that I just felt like this paralysis. And whenever I feel a creative paralysis, I like to turn to layouts. And so this is the Stampin' Up! Downloadable class. They have been putting these in the weekly newsletters on the 4th Wednesday of every month, I think, is when they feature a downloadable class. So it's not something that I created. It's from Stampin' Up, but they've been doing these layouts and then featuring a stamp set or a technique. And so the October downloadable class handout features the Snowy Delight bundle, which is a snowflake bundle from the September through December mini catalog. I don't have that one. And so what I do have is Elegant Pine Snowflakes. And so I'm going to make these layouts today with our Elegant Pine Snowflakes. That's such a tongue twister. I'm going to stop saying it. So I'm going to link up to this handout for you in the video description if you would like to print that out and add it to your collection. I was just thinking I need to start like a little binder. I've got all these printouts and just put them like in page protectors or just pull punch them and put them in a binder and hang on to them because they're just such a great resource for layouts and ideas. So our first card is this one, and it's kind of interesting. They actually stamped black words on the white cardstock to create that background. I thought that was really pretty because the first time I saw it, I thought it was designer paper. But I'm gonna do the cheat code and use designer paper. On mine. I'm going by the measurements they have down here, and so I cut my designer paper to 3 inches by 5 inches. That's going to go over to the side. I have a piece for the inside that is 4 by 5 1/4, and then this piece we are going to stamp our snowflake on. And so I'm going to do the large snowflake here, and I've got 3 colors actually. I've got some Secret Sea, some Shaded Spruce, and some Old Olive. And I'm going to start with the Shaded Spruce for the large snowflake and ink that up. One of the things I like about this designer paper is that it's not just like solid color here, solid color there. There's like lots of like little variations and stuff in the color. And so I wanted to kind of do a little bit of that with my stamping. And so I'm going to take the Secret Sea and a sponge dauber and just kind of sponge the edges of the snowflake with the darker color. And I like it. Yeah, so originally when I was working on this, I just took my ink pad. If you don't have a sponge dauber, you could do this. I just took my ink pad and I just kind of touched like that. But what I didn't like was that like I'd missed a spot. And so the sponge dauber just gives you a little more control. Oh, look at that though. It's like so much darker. Okay, we'll just touch the edges. Almost a rock and roll technique, but not so much rocking. Just a little, just kind of changing the edges a little bit. Really subtle when it's stamped because it's such a detailed image.
I like that.
And then I'm going to bring in the smaller snowflake and go right in the middle.
Oh, how pretty.
Yeah. And then we're going to die cut that. And I have one done for us. I used the little die cut berries in the center. And I just did some liquid glue and then added the berries because the stamped image has berries on both of them. So like we're double stamped with green berries. So I just covered those up. And then for our sentiment, we are going to stamp in Secret Sea, that dark blue color. And the sentiment I'm using is Warmest Winter Wishes. I'm using a 3/4 inch piece of cardstock, and then my little secret is just to make it longer than you need it and then cut it. The measurement they gave here is 3/4 by 1/2 inch. It's for this little tiny piece, but my sentiment was bigger than that. So, oh, I was gonna do like a little stamping on the inside. Actually, let's do it on this card. I was putting my stamps away and I saw this cool stamp. Let's do Shaded Spruce. This cool stamp that has two pine needles. Now you could, like, you know, do and like make a snowflake, but I thought it would be really kind of simple just to add one of those little die cut pine cones from the designer paper. Now there also is a stamp of the pine cone, but since I had this die cut, I just thought it would be just fun to add a little. I could, I kind of like that. Hang on a second. I'm gonna do, yep, Cherry Cobbler can be a little staining, so I'm gonna use my Versamark ink first. Oh, you know what?
I need to start doing that. I have stained stamps.
Okay, hang on a second. We are going to, I need to do Versamark and emboss with this. So before I put Cherry Cobbler on it and then have to clean it off, let me emboss this for our next card. I am going to use a little bit of the Embossing Buddy. That's part of the Embossing Editions toolkit, which also comes with the tray, the tweezers, and the brush. And so I'm going to stamp Celebrate the Season. Oh. And then I'm going to use some white embossing powder. This is from the Basics Wow embossing powders. There's a white, clear, and black. So I was trying to be careful. One time I wanted white and I grabbed clear because they look the same, and it was not the effect that I wanted on my project. Tapping all the extras off. Got just a, oh man. Okay, and then this funnels right back in. I've been embossing a lot lately.
Yeah, I have too. I don't know if it's just the season and it kind of lends itself to embossing.
I think so. That makes sense. I'm going to use the tweezers to hold the paper so I don't burn my fingers. And you're heating just until the powder starts to turn and get shiny.
I love embossing. I like the magic of it.
It is magic. Okay, I'm putting that aside for our next card, which we'll get to in just a minute. But first, now inking in Versamark first can help just to kind of coat the stamp so that it doesn't stain as much with the dark inks like Cherry Cobbler, Real Red, Blackberry Bliss is one that can stain a lot. Melon Mambo. I like that. Celebrate the Season. I think that turned out really nice.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and glue our pieces down. Like I said, these are kind of clean and simple cards, but sometimes I find that clean and simple cards just help you get the mojo going, the creative juices, so that you're ready for something a little more intricate and advanced. It's like a little warm-up. So I'm the warm-up, and then you're going to check out Mom's card.
Oh, these cards are great. Well, I haven't seen the other one yet, but I like this one a lot. I like that technique.
Oops, I meant to put those higher, not lower. We're overlapping. Okay. One-dimensional and some glue. Okay, and then some snowflakes. Should we use, oh, what do you think? The silver ones?
Ooh, yeah, I think so, maybe.
The red, I feel like we already have a lot of red with the card base being red.
I agree. And I don't know if the shaded spruce ones, or the
Pretty peacock.
Peacock ones will show as well.
We've got two sizes of the snowflakes. So I've got a big one and a small one and a big one down here.
Very nice.
So this is our first card. Here is the sketch. You can see clean and simple. Mine is not so, like, they have a lot of die cutting. They got a lot of stuff going on here. Mine's a little simpler, but
so pretty.
You can see that inspiration. Now our next card is also a pretty clean and simple layout. It looks like they did some fun stuff with the die cut snowflakes there. And I am going so clean and simple that I have die cut my snowflake from the designer paper. So this one is going to be super easy. We did do our sentiment celebrate the season on cherry cobbler. I'm using the measurements that they've provided. I have a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5. I'm using the thick white cardstock for this, and then my designer paper is going to fill the front just like they've done. I think they actually stamped on the card front, but I chose designer paper to, again, just make it a little bit easier. So this is 4.25 by 5.5 of the designer paper. And just going to trim really quick. The layer, I chose Old Olive. This one is 3.25 by 4.5 inches. And I'm going to do a little stamping on that, I think, really quick, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And then we have our sentiment over the top. Now, this is the layout as they have shown it, but I was working with this earlier and I thought, you know, you could totally make this.
Oh, yeah.
A horizontal card. I think I like it better. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, so we're just going to twist this card. It's the same measurements and the same layout, so if you like it the other way, you can absolutely still have your card go that way. And if I had a finished one the other way, I would show you, but I'll have to share it later and do it this or that. For our background, I'm going to use Old Olive ink, and I just picked the little snowflake, and I just thought I would do kind of like just some little snowflakes. Actually, I forgot it's going to be like this. Some little snowflakes like that. I don't know, do you like that? There's kind of 5 there too here showing.
Yeah.
You could cover the whole thing, but I kind of like just having a few. And so we're going to add, I'm just going to do like a little bit of a banner. Just very, very narrow there. And let's do, I always am trying to be conscious of not having too many layers of dimensionals. So I'm going to do some regular adhesive to put the banner right in the center of the snowflake. And then I'm going to do some Stampin' Dimensionals under the snowflake. Is that center? And then some Stampin' Dimensionals behind that background layer. Normally, I feel like I would layer this green onto something else. And you absolutely could do that. Your size then would be 3.5 by 4 3/4. But I feel like if you're not going to layer it, then adding it on Stampin' Dimensionals just kind of helps to elevate that layer and make it look more finished.
Yeah, I don't think you would need another layer under that with the designer series paper on your card base.
Yeah. What color gems on this one? The red is like brighter, I feel like, than the cherry cobbler cardstock that I use. So I'm kind of leaning towards silver on this one again, but what do you think?
Gosh. Yeah, I think I like the silver.
Okay.
I was calling them clear.
Oh, I mean, silver clear. The clear gem highlights the silver foil underneath.
Yeah, yeah.
Oops. That's just going to stay there. All right. So that is our second card. Clean and simple with these layouts.
Nice. Oh, Julie, I like both of these a lot.
Thank you. Like I said, kind of clean and simple, but sometimes you need that just to, if nothing else, get your creativity going as you step up your cards and do a little bit more. But I'll have the link for this downloadable class, this handout. I'll put it in the video description for you so you can print out your own and have that at home for inspiration. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and Mom's so you don't miss out on future episodes of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. It is time now to head over to Mom's channel for part 2 to see what she has created with the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Suite.
See you in a few.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you over there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.